Hey, hello everybody. It's Shelly James and I'm coming on live tonight. Excited to be on with all of you and I'm hoping that we will be able to do this. My internet has been going in and out all the past couple of days. And just before I connected, it started doing it again. So if I disappear, I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep it up and running, but it's outside the house that's happening. So unfortunately, it's out of my control. Um, hello. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming on. So we've got several of you joining. I see some comments on the live chat on YouTube, but it's not refreshing now. So I don't know if it's going to let me see you guys or not. So hello, Joy. Thanks for joining. Hello, Lorraine, Bobby, Judy, Janet, Mary, Robin, Della, Carrie, Kim, and Teresa on YouTube. So it's flashing. It says the chat is disconnected and now it's reconnected, but it's like grayed out. So I don't know if it's not going to let me scroll on it at all. We'll do what we can tonight. What am I going to do? Okay. Well, thank you all for being on with me tonight. We'll see where we go with this. I've prepared because I got some fun stuff I want to share with all of you. And it is the month of September. I'm a little thrown, sorry. Lost my train of thought there. So it is the month of September, and I know October is Halloween and fall and everything. And so I've got my Happy Halloween shirt on. Hello, hello. There we go. That my friend Jean made for me a few years ago. She has a business that does this kind of thing, and she sent me one, which I thought was really nice of her. So I thought I'd wear it tonight as we embark on a fun little Halloween design that I'm going to share with all of you. So before I get into that, just some reminders, as I always do, because I like to remind you guys, especially if you're new. If you're new to me and you're just seeing me now, thank you. I'm happy to have you here. I am present right now doing a live on both Facebook and YouTube. If you're watching me on YouTube, please make sure that you like and subscribe and ring that bell. And if you enjoy the lesson tonight, please make sure you give me a thumbs up at the end so that Facebook or YouTube knows that I'm doing something good and that you like it. All right. And then if you're on my Facebook group, make sure you're following that page as well, because I announce things in both places. But most of my class announcements and everything, the posts go on the Facebook group or page. So don't miss out there. Make sure you're going there and liking and following my Michelle My Belle Designs Facebook page. Okay. So welcome everybody. And we've got, hi Brenda, hi sweetie, hey Alan and Doris, and Lee got back from A&W. Oh, wow. Say hi to Ruby for me. Hello, Pam and Miss Denise Hudson. Hello, Maureen, Joanne, Donna Jansen. Haven't seen or heard from you in a while. It's nice to see you. Hi, Chitra and Joy. Okay. So the month of September is about Halloween fun. As far as I'm concerned, sharing with all of you the different projects and designs that I wanted to share with you. So I know it's early, and I even started as early as August, maybe a little July. I can't remember now. But, oh, there we go. We just popped out on the Facebook group, so I don't know if it's going to work or not. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see. It might disconnect me. Apologize for that. Root beer float. Yay. All right. So like I was saying, so Halloween, I'm just getting all over the place. I'm sorry. So my YouTube channel, my Shelly Loves to Paint, we have a really fun class coming up. It's always free. It drops Mondays at noon. And this is a two-parter this time because it's busy, or not busy, but it's involved. And so this is what I'm sharing with all of you coming up Monday. This is a free class on Shelly Loves to Paint on my YouTube channel. So make sure you're going out there. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're ringing the bell. So when this drops on Monday, you'll get a chance to follow along. with me and do this fun little haunted house. So we do part 1 this week, this coming Monday, and we're going to be creating the actual house itself, the background, the sky, the moon, and the foreground, just kind of filling in the canvas. All right, getting the house in there. And then we come back the following week and do all the fun details. So we do the pumpkins, the trees, the bats, all the shading and details on the house, etc. So it's a couple of fun lessons, and I hope you will not miss out on that. So make sure you're following me on YouTube if you aren't already. And like the hearts, thank you guys so much for that. I appreciate it. So I'm excited because I love Halloween. I just think it's a fun time of year. I'm not into, you know, the gory, nasty stuff. I just like the fun part of the holiday and just having a good time. I do my decorating and I don't think about it as being anything other than fun. So I hope if you feel that way too, that you will join me in the fun. Okay. So the other thing I've got going on are my live demos. So today we're going to be doing our cute little swinging ghost. Lots and lots of artists out there right now. I saw tons of different inspiration photos of cute little paintings with ghosts in them. Okay. So I thought it'd be fun just to share my version of that. Just this sweet little ghost swinging in a tree. And so he's just kind of having his good old time hanging out, waiting to scare somebody when they come by. I don't know. So, and then we're going to have, next week, we're going to have a cute little pumpkin that I'm going to do, kind of a jack-o'-lantern, but it's in the theme of, my husband and I go a lot to Universal Orlando parks, and their Halloween Horror Nights theme, kind of little icon or little guy that is their mascot. His name is Little Boo. And so he's got big, bright, big purple eyes and a kind of wavy mouth. And he's got spiders and he's fun. So we're going to be doing him next week. And then to wrap up the Halloween fun, we're going to have a fun witch's hat on the 27th. So I hope you'll come back and join me with these next few weeks of lives. Just a reminder, as far as the September classes are concerned, the first one is done. The kitty, we've done that. And those recordings have gone out to everybody who signed up. And then I just want to remind you, not this coming week, but the week after. So the last Tuesday in September, we still have this one. All right, so kind of a fall design, pretty for Thanksgiving, pretty for just overall fall. And you're learning how to do all those leaves and that neutral tone pumpkin and scraping background. And it's just a real pretty design. And you could do this in any color scheme that you like. If you like blues or pinks or greens or whatever. I just chose to do it in neutral tones. So, excuse me. So this is coming up the 23rd of September. I guess it's not the last Tuesday. It's the next to the last Tuesday. $30 for this. If you haven't already signed up and you want to get into it, you can. You can either, so to sign up and also for any purchases for my sale that I'm going to do in a little bit. If you want to purchase anything, you just want to leave your email address or private message me your email address and what you would like to purchase. If you want to get into this class, you can just say you want this class and I will email you an invoice on Square. Or you can go directly to my website, michellemybelledesigns.com, and learn to paint and classes. Sorry, I'm so worried about this dropping out again. I keep kind of losing my train of thought. Under classes, and it is $30 for this. And of course, as always, we have the two. So if you still wanted to get that kitty in the orange flowers painting class and want to get both of them, you save. Both of them are $52. And then I also still have the paint kit for the September classes available under the bundle of the two classes. You can find that there as well. Okay. So question, I love that. Will you have a pattern, Doris Martin? You're asking. I'm thinking you're asking about the haunted house. And yes, that one does have a pattern. It's always pinned to the top of the comments. When I do provide a pattern for my free classes, it will be pinned in the comments. So yes, it will be there. And then yes, this one also, you will get a pattern. So, okay. Denise, I would enjoy seeing a demo for the Horn of Plenty for Thanksgiving. I think Donna's done several of those, but I might make a pop that in October for one of my shorts. So you might see it there. So, but thank you for the suggestion, and I will see what I can do to help you out there. Okay. Always appreciate suggestions, guys, because I want to do what you want to see. So please let me know. Okay. All right. So let's talk a little bit. I've got a sale that I want to share with all of you. And this is right here on this live only sale. So if you want any of these specials that I'm offering, I've got 4 specials tonight, 4 sale offers. And so you're going to leave in the comments, whether it's on the live chat on YouTube or on the comments on the Facebook group. I want you to leave the number for the special that you would like, the product number. It's going to be products 1, 2, 3, or 4. And what I'm offering tonight is basically you're getting about 27%, almost 30% off on these packages, these bundles. So these are my favorites for the upcoming season, Halloween through Christmas. These are big ones that I've done in the past. So a lot of you may have already taken these, but some of you are new, or maybe you never got into it or didn't realize that I taught this. Okay. So this, let me just share the first one. This is my Great Pumpkin Leaner. All right. We did this back in 2022, and this is a 57-inch tall pumpkin. All right. One single pumpkin that we paint that stack of 5 pumpkins on. You can see me in the picture right there, how big it is, how tall it stands, right? It's up to my shoulders. So this is almost just over 4 feet tall. All right, looks beautiful on your front porch or in your front room to welcome your guests. This packet includes, and with a video, okay, the bundle together it's a 5-hour video lesson. $75 normally. The packet normally $28.95. So together it's normally almost $104. I'm offering this with the video, and it includes the patterns. So you've got all these step-by-step photos, worksheets, step out colors, and explanations. All right, for the entire packet. This is a this one is a 13-page packet. It has a supply list in the back, and then it also has the entire pattern, right, that you've taped together, cut out, taped together to form that 57-inch pumpkin, along with the video lesson, the 5-hour video lesson for just $75. Okay, so it's normally $103.95 for the video and the packet. That's $75 plus a $5 shipping and handling, so it's $80 total. If you would like this, this is offer number 1. All right, this is the Great Pumpkin Leaner. That's the packet plus the video. All 4 of these that I'm offering tonight are specials on the packet and video combo, the bundle. Okay, so that's our first one, Great Pumpkin Leaner, just $75. The next one is my Nutcracker, the Holiday Nutcracker, also a 57-inch piece that stands, and so you can see it in front of the door right there, right? And it includes the pattern, and it includes all the step-by-step photos on how to do this project, right? Close-ups, lots of detail, okay? And so this one also is a 5-hour how-to video that goes with it, plus the packet, $75. So that's special offer number 2, the Holiday Nutcracker with the video, packet and video, normally $104, now on sale for $75. Okay, so if you would like that one, you're going to comment number 2. All right, and then I will put that in invoices out to you. The third one is the one I just did in 2024 last year, my holiday reindeer. These big guys, they are 18 inches tall by about 24 inches wide, all 3 of them. And all of these wood pieces, guys, are available at unfinishedwoodco.com. All right. And they are a special price. Go check them out, because normally in the past that pumpkin was over $80. It's only $47 plus shipping, and he ships lightning fast. You get it within a couple of days of placing your order. So don't miss out on that. So we've got the holiday reindeer, right? This is a 3-piece shelf sitter. And this also has all the step-by-step photos, lots of close-ups for all 3 of the deer and all their details, and includes all the patterns. Okay. So this one is also, so this one was 2 classes, 2 of the classes that were $30 plus $28.95 for the packet normally, marked down from, so total combined would have been $88.95. Now just $60. So you're saving $28.95, essentially the cost of the packet. You're getting the packet for free. So $60 for, this is number 3, the holiday reindeer. So that's a picture right there. All right. And again, these are like 18 inches tall by almost 20 to 24 inches long, depending on which one. You can do all 3 or just 1 or just 2. And again, they're available at unfinishedwoodco.com. The wood surfaces are. Okay, so that's number 3, holiday reindeer. And then finally, this one is my favorite, because this was one of the first things that I ever created and taught and made into a packet after I decided to do this as my current career. Okay, and so this is my Holy Family. This is done on 3 pieces of 2x wood. All right, they're cut with points on top. So you could do these on just a like a 11x14 canvas. You could do this on 3 pieces of 2x wood. The patterns are in here, so you can cut them to the shapes. And this is a smaller packet, all right, but it has all the step out, so you can see the picture of the wood right there, all right, with the points. This wood is not on Unfinished Wood Co. This was just 2x lumber that my husband cut, so you could do this on any piece that you like, right? You could just have your local Lowe's or Home Depot cut the wood to the lengths that you need. And then this is a little better close-up of the finished picture. Okay, so this, along with the video and the pattern and the packet, excuse me, normally would be $52.95. So this is $38 for this one. So it's basically it's a single 2-hour class and a video and the packet, this is a less cost packet. I think it was $22, $22.95, because it's smaller. So that's the specials. This is special for Holy Family, $38 plus shipping. All of them are $5 shipping. If you order more than 1, it's still only $5 shipping. Okay, so just letting you know. So I hope you take advantage of some of those if you haven't already. I see Pam said she's done them all and treasures them, and I treasure you, Pam. I really appreciate you and the people that have been with me all these years taking these classes with me, and I really appreciate you sharing how much you enjoy doing these classes with others too. So yeah, if you would like to get any of these, please let me know. I saw somebody comment, offer one please, Lee. So Lee, you have not done my pumpkin? Really? I'm shocked. I would have thought you had, but I will get that off to you. Wonderful. So thank you. All right, so I'm still not able to scroll. I don't think we're going to be able to do giveaways tonight. I'll probably have to do those after. I'll go back through the chat on the YouTube side and and then notify the person who won. Thank you, Robin. And so I apologize for that, but that's something that's happening with my internet going in and out. So anyway, so let's get to tonight's demo. Okay, this is going to be fun. This cute little guy swinging on his swing set, hanging on a tree in his little wood clearing. And I think you're going to enjoy this. So let's get overhead and get going. Okay. So in all my stewing and fretting about my internet not working, normally I have all my paints out. but I didn't do that tonight because I was trying to make sure everything was going to work. So let's come down right there. There we go. All right, so let's put some colors out here. I've got an 8x10 canvas board. You could do this on canvas. You could do it on paper. The original that I did my my sample on was a piece of paper, and I wanted to do this on canvas because I think it would look better. Let me straighten that out a little better. There we go. It was at a weird angle. All right, so I've just sketched on here just a tree, okay? So I've got my tree, which pretty much takes up the left third of this 8x10 canvas. And I'm going to make this just a hair darker so you guys can see. But this is not a pattern. This is just a demo so you guys can sketch a tree that's not too tough. Or you can do a snapshot of the screen and print out and trace to create your pattern. So I'm just making this darker so you can do that. So we got the background here. This is our little ground, which you don't have to put this in on your sketch, and then we've got all the branches here. Basic tree. Now I have a little squiggly here because this actually is going to be like a crotch in the tree, so it's going to be dark. That's not where I'm putting sky. It's not in an open spot, okay? So it just adds a little more character to our tree. And there we go, all the way down. All right, so that's our pattern. And then this swing may or may not show. I might have to resketch that after we get the background on. So we'll see how, it depends on how dark I make the black in the background. So, all right. So let's put our colors out. I like for the fall type colored skies, I like to use Skyline. It's kind of got a little bit of a grayish tone to it. And so Skyline, and we're going to add some white to get our sky color. So I put Skyline and Wicker White out. Okay. And then I'm going to need some licorice. And I'm actually going to put the licorice next to my Skyline because I'm going to also use Skyline for the trees, the big tree, and then the smaller ones in the background. And then I'm going to put out some medium gray. I'm going to put that on the other side of my licorice. I'm mostly going to use that for my ghost, but I might put it on the tree as well. So this gray has some like brown undertones to it, versus when you mix white and licorice together, you get more of a bluish black undertone to it. So I learned that not too long ago when I was doing I think it was some shading on something. I can't remember what it was, but I thought, oh, that's not the color that I wanted that to be. All right, so then I'm going to put out some burnt umber and some coffee latte. I'm going to put that over here by my white. All right, and then Prussian blue just for some shading. A little bit, don't need much. And then finally, we're going to use, you can put foliage in this or you can leave it without. When you see it without, you decide. Because I can tell you that it does look great by itself without the foliage in the trees, but it looks more fall if you do add a little bit of these autumn colors in the trees. Okay. All right. So those are all my colors. And then I just need some floating medium. And I'm going to put that right here in the middle because I think I'm going to need a bit of it for my sky. Okay. So shove that over here. And so the first thing I want to do, I'm going to get my 3/4 inch mop. You could use a sponge if you prefer, but I want to use this just to kind of get around the tree. It can go over the, the edges of the tree, but not, it's fine. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is pick up some medium, and then I'm going to get some skyline and some white. And I want to work that together, skyline and white, getting like a pale blue, kind of one of those cool fall colored skies. Okay. All right, so a little more medium with that. There. All right, so I'm just going to come right from the bottom where my ground is going to be. Come right up next to my tree. And we can just go up and down. Okay. And then I'm going to get a little more medium. All right, we can go right around. Now, it's better if you just go right over. So that's why it's good to have that sketch kind of dark. Go over the tree. You can add a little more white. And the gray from the graphite or the pencil, blending with some of that blue in the sky is perfectly fine for the setting of this design. And I just want to make sure I'm going straight. Okay. And it doesn't matter straight left and right or straight up and down, just make sure it's straight. Because it's pretty much a flat color, it's just in the background. Okay, and then I'm going to come right in here in these openings where our branches are and up against the left side of the tree. And that's the sky color, okay? All right. Then let's wipe this out. Let me get as much of that color out of my brush as I can, just wiping it on paper towel. And I can come and just pick up some of this licorice on that same brush. And we're going to streak up from the base of the ground. Okay. And this is just going to be the background, kind of the darkness of the forest. And see, I'm going right over that swing, so we'll have to put that back in. And I just personally, I just freehand painted that when I did my original sample. So that's what I will do, or we can sketch it. A lot of times when the paint is still too wet, the chalk doesn't really sketch very well. All right, so notice that these are all kind of the same height, and I really don't want that. So I'm going to come up here. Let's make this a little higher, and maybe right over here. I have a few other places where it's just a little bit higher than the lower spots. Okay, so it's just the impression of trees further in the background. It's just meant to be a quick and fun sort of background. And then I can take that same brush and I can do a little tapping, right? So we can add a little foliage on some of those trees way in the background. Right? Maybe that taps out here. You don't see it because it's behind the tree. Right there maybe. Okay. And then over here, I can pull up a little bit as well. All right, now I am done with this brush. I'm going to go ahead and put that in water. I'll clean it later. And I'm going to use my little 1/4 inch now to, or no, not the 1/4 inch, the 16 flat, to put my background in. So I'm going to get that damp, and we're going to come get coffee latte and some white. And we're going to come right up here, oops, along this edge, Get a little more of that coffee latte. We're going to tap some burnt umber back in here too, but just kind of push that up against the edge of the trees. And then let's get a little bit medium in there. Then, so this is kind of our mid-tone to light colored ground color. So you're just sweeping back and forth, kind of filling that in. Nothing perfect yet. Nothing perfect ever, really. All right, and then I'm going to come right up in here where my roots are going to go and just kind of tuck that in. All right, so that filled in all of the canvas with the exception of the tree. All right, and then I'm going to come with that same loaded brush. I'm just going to come pick up some burnt umber on the corner, and we can come right in here and kind of tap in burnt umber in the foreground of our wood line. Okay, and then take that same corner and go side to side and sputter that out a little bit. We'll come from the tree this way and then back around and take the, oops, wipe off some of that. Take the chisel edge of the brush and just kind of sweep that out. Grab a little bit of white. Do some light spots in here. Back on this side. So our little ghost is going to hang right here. I can see my lines coming down. He's going to hang right here. So I want that kind of dark under where he'll be, quote unquote, casting a shadow. All right, and then I'm going to take this corner with the burnt umber. And I might do more of this later. It depends on how it turns out, but having a little more of that dark up and around the roots of this tree. And just kind of sweeping that out. Okay. So far nothing too difficult. And what we want to do now is start getting our trees in place. Okay. So then we can put our little friend in his swing. So with the trees, the first of all, this big tree, right? I'm going to come in with some licorice. And I'm going to come right into the crotch of this tree right here, get my dark in there. Right? And you can always add more later, but I'm just going to start with that. So put a little dark right in there, a little dark right in there. Anywhere that the branches meet the trunk of the tree. All right, and then I'm going to come get the medium gray and my licorice. And we're going to come right down to here. And we're just going to base in this tree first. So I'm going to go medium on my brush to help it move. And I put the medium gray to the right side. More medium gray. Let's get a little bit of white. Right, remember I said that medium gray has brown undertones, and I want more of like the gray and black. All right, so picking up more licorice on the left side of my tree. And filling that in. Now we haven't done any of the bark movement yet. This is just basing in the core color. Okay, so see how there's a light side to this right side, right? And then the light also is going to stay to the top. So you're going to come, let's wipe that off a minute. come and get white, not gray. I keep picking up gray. I mean white, white. And right up here, we're going to come out on this long branch. Great branch for a tree swing. Come up here and here. And I always, when I do trees, I start out real loose and just kind of get my shape, right? Making sure I got kind of a double load on my brush, so I got a light and dark tone to that. And then I come back and do more of the detail work on that. So this is my base. Okay. All right, now picking up the white with the licorice up here. Okay. And more white on that right side. So now I can go right along. Let's turn this in. So now we can see that crotch in that tree. It's so much easier to do than on paper. My original seemed like it took me forever to get that paper to take all that paint. And this is so much easier. Okay, so that's my tree. Just the base look of it. And so now what I want to do is let's wipe that brush off. And I'm going to double load now with the black and this skyline. Okay. And I might come and side load some white occasionally. With the skyline up, let's come right in the middle of our tree, right here. Okay. And chisel edge, we're going to kind of wave that down to the root. Okay. And then continuing, you can do more. Now I'm going to side stroke a little white on the blue edge. And you just kind of work this process of light. I want more white. On the right side of my tree, I want it to be lighter. It's facing the clearing. It's lit up by by the light in the clearing. It's not necessarily a sunny day, but it's a lighter day. Okay. So just overlapping those waves, I'm getting this kind of movement in the bark. And up here on my branch, I can pull a few of those down too. Let's tip that slightly so we don't have that glare, and then come over here. Okay. So just continue to work that tree until you like how it looks. Varying the brush load. And you can also reverse it. So if it starts to get too light, like right in here, I can drag some black. And that will fill in some of those areas. Now, and so on this left side of the tree, it's going to be darker. And just go back and forth. with a little bit of a wave in your brush. Okay, so you can see how this left side of my tree, if it's getting too light, come tuck some more of that black in there. All right, and you're just creating movement in the bark. I want to get a little more of that blue in here. Wipe my brush off, and I'm going to come get some Prussian blue, right? That's a little darker blue. And darker edge of my tree in between the roots, on the edge, up in here a little bit. So it's not as dark as the black. And it just looks like it's part of the tree. Okay, now I'm just going to come back and get a little more black, and I'm pretty happy with this tree so far. I just want to darken, like I said, in some of these joints where the branches come into the tree. There. Right, and then to finish off my root base, I'm going to come get my script liner. And I got that damp, and I'm going to get some black. And we can pull these roots. Let's come down a little closer so you can see the bottom. Right, and you're going to pull some of those roots down into the dirt. And to give them more presence, you need some light and some dark. So I create some shadows and some indentations with heavy dark black. See how that puts it right, sets it right into the ground. And a little more black in here. This really deep dark indentation right there. Doesn't that look cool? I just think it looks so realistic. And then I can get some white, right? And on a few of these, right, you highlight where the light hits on the opposite side from where you did that dark. So right through here, maybe a little bit right there. And this is going to be mostly on the right side of the tree again. So don't go past that midline. And get a little more black in here. Okay, so that's our root base. Now, where do we want to put our little friend? Oh, before I do that, sorry, I forgot. So we've got trees in the background too. We need to add some of those, and those are real quick and simple. So I've just got a 10 flat, and we're going to get our blue and our black. So double loading those two colors, a little bit of medium on there. All right, and we're just going to pull up here and pull down. Go past and behind the limb. You can go up all the way to the top. Make sure you're pulling that blue down or up if you're trailing it, right? So that you see it through that black, right? And these are just little skinny trees in the background. You can just chisel edge, or you can use the script liner if you want to do more detail, but they're not really going to be noticeable until you put the foliage on them. So we'll come through there. Let's come behind our ghost. Real quick and easy. And what really made this work for me, I tried just black, I tried black and gray, it didn't look right. It was that darker, that blue, that skyline that I'm side stroking here that helps those trees kind of stand out. Over the top of this black area right here. Okay, so you can just do a few of those, little short ones, tall ones. Just gives, and I don't want to fill up the sky because I want that sky to be there. Okay, that's better. Now, where our ghost is going to sit. So let me just kind of highlight in white real quick. Get some white on a script liner. So we've got this rope that's coming around our limb right there. And then it comes down like this. I'll do it in black later, but this is just for kind of paint sketching. Okay. All right, and then the base of our swing is going to sit right here. Go straight across like this. He's going to cover most of it, so it doesn't have to be great. All right, and then it's an angle like a trapezoid like that, and then you have the 2 or 3 edges that come down, and then you just connect those. All right, so that's where our little ghost is going to sit, and then the little ropes come out the bottom. Okay, now for our ghost, let's get some white here. Well, let's fill in our swing first. So I'm going to take that same 10 and we'll come in with our blue, and let's get a little white. Blue right through there. And just go down the face of it right there. And right there. Grab a little bit of black, chisel edge right there, and then across the bottom, just to kind of clean it up. And like I said, most of that is not going to show, but what does will be that color. Okay, so good so far. Now, we want to put our ghost in, and then we will do our strings, our rope coming down. Okay, so the ghost, I'm going to sketch him out too with white. He's a little guy, right? He's a little kid ghost on a swing. And no, we're not going to think about what that means. It's just fun. All right, so his little head like this. And then we're going to have his arm come here. He's holding on. He comes back. His little sheet comes around like this, and then he drapes off the bottom. And comes up, so you see the swing, and then comes back down a little bit. And this is where his other arm, you'll see because of the angle, the opening of his sheet, and then that comes down there, and then you just connect him like that. Okay, so very simple little sketch. So then we can come to our 10 and fill him in. Now I don't want him transparent. You could, and in your painting you can do that, but in mine I'm making him pretty solid. I saw the cutest paintings that people took. You go into like a Salvation Army or a Goodwill or something where people have donated landscapes. And I think even Plaid did a demo of this last year. You take these paintings and you add little ghosts and pumpkins to them, and all of a sudden it's a Halloween landscape. Little ghosts, pumpkins, bats, whatever you like. All right, so right in here where his arm is going to be, and then I want to just smooth him out all the way head to toe. Okay, now I'm going to wipe that brush off. I'm going to come and side stroke some black. Let's work that in over here. Get a little bit of medium. Work that black in with that white that's on my brush, and you're going to come right in here where his opening is and do a little teardrop. Okay, and then you can come along the curve in his sheet and pull up. Come right here and do another one. Right, you're just kind of creating little folds. Pull up there. Come down here, pull that. So you're creating folds in the fabric. Okay. And then you can come pick up strong white again. Get some lighter fold colors, more strong white, and you can add little streaks in the folds. Okay, so isn't he cute? So anything that's not pure white is going to show up as like a shadow or a fold in the material. Right here. And I think that's all I want to do. Then come get your script liner again. Get some strong white. Go around his opening here. Right here where he's holding on. And a few streaks up around there. Okay, now grab that 10 flat and let's get licorice. We can side load some white. I got water all over this. Just one second. Wipe that off. Okay, so up here, we're going to add the rope coming over. A little chisel stroke on a curve like that. Get a little bit more white on that edge. All right, and then right here, we can pull that rope down. And it's going to go right through to the seat and the swing. Right there and right here. Right, and then below you can do a little, it's actually better if you use the script liner. Against that black, just do white. Coming down. And you can come up here with some black and streaks of white and do the knots on the rope under the tree. There. And some more black. All right, there we go. Now, to finish him, I'm going to take my handle of my script liner. I'm going to dip into licorice, and we're going to make little ovals that are slanted. So that way and this way. There. Okay, how cute is he? I want my swing to show a little bit. There. All right, now to finish this off, we can come get some licorice, streak through some white, and we can add some vines going around the tree. So licorice, streak through white. There we go. So just a little kind of bonus project for tonight. Instead of just a demo, we're going to complete a whole project. All right, so to finish this off, now this is what I want you to see. Here, you could leave it, right? That could be the whole of the project. But if you want it to look more like fall and have maybe a little softer tone to it, you can take your, this is the 1/2 inch mop. I'm going to get pure orange on half of it. I'm going to tap into a little bit of moon yellow on the rest of it. Okay, and you can kind of tap it off there just to get rid of any of the heavy paint, because you don't want it real heavy. And then I'm going to come right in here with the yellow up, and I'm going to tap some foliage. Now if I go over that branch, because it's on these trees in the background, if I accidentally go over that branch, it's no big deal. It's dry now, so you could just take a damp, clean brush and take some of that off, or you can just leave it. It's fine too, right? So I came in here, lightly tapping. I think I'm just going to leave it because I kind of like it better that way, just going right over that tree branch. Yellow and orange. Okay, and then come down here, we'll do a little bit. A little bit on the ground. And you can even go along the vine that you just put parts of the tree here. Just with the orange I did on this, and it kind of muted, so it wasn't really